lot. My name is Mike and welcome back to another video. As some of you may know, I speak Spanish and recently I started learning Portuguese as well. I wanted to share with you some of the tips that I have learned to help learn another language. Language can be very, very hard, but it doesn't have to be. So, with that said, shall we start? Okay, for me, I found there were 3 or 4 different things that I did that really helped my Spanish improve. What I'm going to tell you worked very, very well for me, but it doesn't mean that it'll work just as well for you. The first thing that helped me was to only study when I wanted to study. So a lot of people don't have this luxury, but I did. I know myself, and I know if I'd have given myself a study schedule, then I wouldn't have stuck to it. I would have found excuses not to study, I would have ignored, I would have put it off, and before I realized, I would have been 6 months without studying. Not having a schedule, for me, helped a lot. It meant whenever I had, for example, 5 minutes spare, I'd quickly study. It meant if there was something I didn't want to do, that would be my excuse to study. Not having a schedule meant that studying Spanish became something I wanted to do and not something I had to do. It sounds strange, but because of this mentality and because of this idea, I studied more than what I might have done if I'd have had a good schedule for myself. I believe this also helped to grow the idea in my mind that studying languages is fun. Because for me, it always was fun. It was never something that I had to do. If you can have the idea in your mind that studying English is something you do for fun, then you will improve a lot and very, very fast. The next thing that helps me to learn a language is to practice even when I'm alone. Okay, this might sound very strange, but it makes a lot of sense. You can never improve at a language if you don't practice. In my case, I'm from a small town in the north of England. Nobody there spoke any language other than English. So I had to find other ways to speak regularly. I was too shy to find somebody online, so I had to practice on my own. What I thought was everybody speaks to themselves. Everybody has ideas, everybody has time, everybody imagines things, everyone speaks to themselves when they're doing something they don't want to be doing. So for me, instead of having those conversations in my mind in English, I'd force myself to speak in Spanish. I'd force myself to use the bits of vocabulary I learnt, the bits of grammar I knew, and that way, while I was, for example, washing the dishes, I would imagine how to say knife, for example. While I was speaking to myself in my head, I'd realize there were gaps in my vocabulary. So all I'd do is I'd take my phone out and I'd Google how to say, for example, knife, and then I'd use the word in a conversation in my own head. Maybe it's a little bit strange, but for me, it really worked a lot. If there was a grammatical structure I didn't understand, then I'd make a note of it. I'd tell my teacher, and in my next class, that's what we would do. After a week or 2 of these regular conversations in my own mind, they became more advanced, they became longer, and when I actually spoke Spanish to my teacher, I was very fast and my vocabulary was very advanced according to the amount of time I'd studied. My teacher would tell me that I was doing very, very well and I had a natural gift, but it wasn't true. I was just practicing a lot. If you can do this in English, you will see the benefits almost immediately. The final and most important thing that I have learned through learning languages is to make links between your native language and your target language. I remember watching a video a few years ago on YouTube, and in this video, the guy said that stories are very important to language learning. The crazier the story, the easier it is to learn a new word. So I started trying it. I started trying to create links with Spanish words and English in general, and it made everything so much easier to remember. Suddenly, the words I'd heard a million times but wouldn't stay in my head were refusing to leave. I couldn't try to forget them. It was amazing. I started, of course, with simple words like dar, which means give. Will you give me some money? What? Give me dar. Show. Dar. Give. Give me dar. Then I got to more complicated words like ducharse, which is to have a shower. Do you shower often? Se. Yeah, totally. Do you shower often? Se. Yeah. Okay, so it's ridiculous, of course, but for me it meant I never forgot words. I was able to link 5 or 6 words I remember in one story. I had a lot of problems remembering the word table in Spanish, and I just remember Jar Jar Binks sitting and telling me a story at a table. Mesa is table, misa is something Jar Jar Binks says. It was ridiculous, but it was like everything became so much easier at that point for me. Of course, these stories that helped me might not help you, so you need to create your own stories, which, in my opinion, is the fun part anyway. For now, that's just about it. If you have any other language learning tips, comment down below, send me a message on Instagram, and I'll make sure to make a follow-up video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you lovely lot next time. Bye bye.